ensure that our state's economic sustainability is bright and that there will be a future for all Arizonans.
We want to encourage you today to interact with us during today's event using the hashtag OCHeroes.
And we're going to keep this program moving along here, but I just wanted to take one quick second because, Ange, how many years have I emceed your event? 5? 5 years. So this is a few years ago, and I love Angela, and I love One Community, and One Community stands for bringing people together. A few years ago on this stage, I stood here and I told a story about the man now standing next to me, Brandon Lee, and it was just an organic moment that I was sharing about how he went to go write a book and to speak his truth and to really, he took a big risk in doing it because he talked about overcoming addiction, and I talked about how proud I was of Brandon, and because of that strength that I saw in him, no longer were we just co-workers, we became very, very close and dear friends. And Brandon and I really stand for a lot of the same things. We like to stand up for the little guy. And, you know, bringing people together and standing up for the little guy, if you will, it resonates with me as a journalist who cares deeply about sharing stories, and now it also resonates with me as a business owner who is building up a media company, and we have some exciting things in the works here, along with our friend Andrea Tyler Evans from Front Doors Magazine and the Red Book, because we are all teaming up to build more positive media content, and Brandon has some exciting business things in the works too.
Yeah, I'm like shaking nervous. It's pretty exciting for me, which I usually never shake or nervous. I go into the studio and my heartbeat doesn't even usually go up, but standing in front of people doing something new. I'm actually going to be joining for the very first time the business community. This One Community, as an LGBTQ business owner, I have created an art therapy program to help victims of child abuse, child sex abuse, survivors of domestic violence, and recovering addicts, and help them healing in their road to recovery through art therapy. Art therapy saved my life multiple times from near suicidal ideation just this past January, and I want to be able to give that gift of art therapy to help people in our community heal to become better people.
You're trying to make me cry already.
She's the best.
So we just wanted to let you know that we really care about these causes personally and professionally, and we want to say thank you to organizations like One for never, ever taking your eye off the ball.
I truly do. I support One Community's vision of a fully inclusive Arizona and an LGBT inclusive nation. One is the voice for the LGBTQ inclusive community, and for those who want to understand how and why they need to be involved with the LGBT community for social and economic reasons, and simply put, because it is the right thing to do.
And today, many of us are back here together for the first time, which feels so good. We are honored to share with you the work One Community has done over the past year and the progress that has been made while facing new hurdles, as many of you know, in the path towards an LGBTQ inclusive Arizona. Today, you will hear the stories of our LGBTQ and allied local heroes, and together we will work towards a future when celebrating, respecting, and protecting all Arizonans isn't something we strive for. It is, in fact, who we are. But before we get into our celebration today and the highs and lows of our state's journey towards equality for all Arizonans, please join me in welcoming former Spotlight local hero Brad York for the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Angela, do you remember the year that we had a miscue with the choir backstage, and I had to actually sing, and the crowd was, and I am not a good singer at all, the crowd was so kind, they stood up and carried me through it, so Brad was much better, infinitely better than I was.
We should probably just thank Brad for being here and ready to go on time. So Brad, thank you. One community would like to thank the elected officials who have joined us for today's event. Glendale Councilmember Jaime Aldama. Tempe Councilmember Jennifer Adams. From the City of Scottsdale, Councilmember Linda Milhaven. Councilmember Tammy Caputi. Councilmembers Solange Whitehead and Mayor David Ortega. From the City of Mesa, Vice Mayor Jen Duff, Councilmember Julie Spilsbury, Councilmember Mark Freeman, Councilmember David Luna, and former Councilmember Dennis Kavanaugh. State Representative Cesar Chavez, Representative Lorenzo Sierra, Representative Amish Shah, and let's not forget our 2021 local heroes, former Scottsdale Councilmember Virginia Corte, Mesa Mayor John Giles, and Representative Daniel Hernandez. Please, everyone, one big round of applause.
And I just got word that my friend Corey Woods, Tempe, represented in the House. Where are you, Corey?
Yeah.
And Corey is awesome and doing a fabulous job in Tempe. I might just put that little plug in because I'm not a political reporter anymore, so I can say whatever I want. In an effort to provide you with a more contactless experience, this events program is available digitally, so you can check your table for the QR code to access the program. And this year's raffle is also available digitally at ocfraffle.com. We do want to mention 100% of proceeds of today's raffle will go to support the educational work of the One Community Foundation. And as you know, they do tremendous work in the education realm.
All right, so we have 3 great raffle prizes this year, so I'm going to read through a few of them. Our first package is Destinations and Dining. You're going to take in Arizona's great destinations with this prize pack that includes tickets to the theater, the opera, local museums, paired with great restaurants, destinations unknown, by the way, with 2 round-trip tickets for Southwest Airlines, the official airline of One Community. Our second raffle package today is called Sleeping Beauty, which I think we can all use a little extra sleep right now. Rejuvenate your beauty routine with gift certificates to salons, skincare, and massages, and then enjoy that much-needed beauty rest on your new Tuft & Needle mattress. Our third raffle package is called Stay and Play. It's your chance to actually stay here locally. I love a good staycation here in the Valley. Some of the best resorts here in the greater Phoenix area. Enjoy gameplay at Arizona sporting events and family playtime at the Children's Museum. Raffle tickets begin at just $20.
And we wouldn't be here today, of course, without the generous support of our sponsors, our friends and partners at PetSmart. A big round of applause here, PetSmart. So amazing. Oh, there's a table right there. But a bigger, you guys got to give yourselves a bigger. Yeah. I know how supportive you are. PetSmart sponsors the Unity Agent Award and program, so please, we all want to say thank you for your commitment to equality for all Arizonans. Thank you all so very much.
And please also join us in thanking center stage sponsors, Arizona Diamondbacks, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, Fry's Food Stores, Glendale Chamber of Commerce, Hensley, iHeartMedia, Intel, JP Morgan Chase, Many to One, Sheraton Phoenix Downtown, and Southwest Airlines. Please give our center stage sponsors a big round of applause.
By the way, every time we are here for this event, I have to say that the Sheraton, you folks who work here at the Sheraton, you're excellent, and thank you for all you do. You're always so kind, so kind. I drink like 900 cups of coffee, so they just set them in front of me out there. So today we are here, of course, to celebrate 8 LGBTQ and allied individuals, and we are honored to share their stories of family, faith, and socially responsible business, and their commitment to diversity, inclusion, and equality for all Arizonans. Please join me in welcoming One Community's Community Engagement Director, Janine Skinner, to the stage.
Oh my gosh. Good afternoon, everyone. I can't believe it's been 2 years since we've been together in person. How freaking exciting is this? Anyway, thank you so much for being here today, both virtually and in person. You've been One Community supporters and advocates in so many ways this year, and the work we're doing together in communities across our state makes Arizona better for all of us. This year, despite voracious anti-LGBTQ bills being introduced, our inclusive coalition held strong and beat back every attempt at harming LGBTQ Arizonans. And our years of sharing stories, educating our neighbors, business leaders, faith leaders, and elected officials led to historic LGBTQ inclusive municipal updates more than any single year in Arizona's history. So, as One Community prepares for the future, we invite you to join us in celebrating and reflecting on how far we've come and how far we have yet to go as we look back on our year in review.
This is the first time in 4 years that I've not been able to put a slide in this presentation that says that a bipartisan bill to update our statewide policies was introduced. As we prepared for 2021, we knew that this was going to be a really difficult year. We've all been on defense and we've been successful working very collaboratively.
What One Community does here in the Valley is incredible. And we have the same core values as they do. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is our top priority. We're happy to be a part of this expo, and again, partnering with these over 35 companies, again, to provide jobs to so many here in the Valley.
It's no longer acceptable to not have a stance, right? What is your corporate social responsibility? And saying nothing is saying something.
Customers, consumers, employees, community members are actually looking to business leaders as much or more so than they're looking to government leaders for leadership on these issues and on these topics.
other Valley cities moving to legally protect the rights of the LGBTQ community.
In just about an hour or so, the Mesa City Council is expected to vote on protecting people in the group from discrimination. Monica Garcia is joining us live tonight to explain what's going on there. Monica?
Yeah, guys, if approved, this ordinance is going to be breaking barriers in a couple of ways. First, we're talking about offering protection to members of the LGBT community when it comes to their jobs, where they live, as well as public places, not to mention all of this happening in historically one of the most conservative cities in Arizona.
Tonight, we celebrate equality, respect, and fundamental rights. Tonight's not about breaking new ground, but rather tonight's about sharing common ground. The common ground of respect, equality, and non-discrimination. The basic rights we're all entitled to enjoy. It will be my privilege to vote yes to adopt this non-discrimination ordinance for the City of Mesa.
I hope that this is a step that provides an avenue to bring awareness and collaboration within our community.
And many people don't think discrimination exists, yet ask anyone that's protected under this ordinance and they will tell you otherwise.
Not until you experience what the sting of discrimination feels like will you understand why this ordinance is important.
The hate that I have received this week has helped me empathize and just see the smallest glimpse of what the LGBT community has felt like.
That motion passes 5-2.
Don't believe the lies and fear tactics of those opposed to this ordinance.
Please decline to sign the petition and tell your friends and neighbors to do the same.
Mesa loves everyone!
If you need Wi-Fi to purchase your raffle tickets, the network name is Marriott Bonvoy _conference, and the password is Spotlight 21.
Okay, bravo, bravo, and one community. That video was so amazing. And Brandon is actually real-time reacting just to see the victory. And it was good to see my friends from the AZ family, Nicole and Jared, featured in the video. So beautiful to see and inspiring. So at a time, when so many are divided, it is one community's commitment to uniting people, as we all just watched and listened to, around the common goal of equality and fairness for all that gives us hope. And it gives us not only hope, Angela has a game plan every step of the way.
Yeah, whoever made that video, just a big thank you. That was some powerful stuff. Truly, I think sometimes we forget how hard it is to be LGBTQ. Just in America, and especially in sometimes very conservative states, it's not easy. But the folks in this room, I just want to say a special thank you for always having our backs. The business leaders, the politicians in some of these conservative communities, thank you. Personally, from me, thank you. It helps us, and it helps us grow as a community. We just want to be included. We just want to be included. So please join me in thanking today's Floodlight sponsors, Apple, AT&T, Sunbelt Holdings. So will representatives from the following center stage sponsors please go to the Honorees Step and Repeat at the right of the stage: Arizona Diamondbacks, Hensley, and the Glendale Chamber of Commerce. And while those folks are going to be gathering over at the Step and Repeat, we'd also like to thank this year's Spotlight sponsors: AMR, Arizona Bank and Trust, Cox Communications, Gamage and Burnham Greater Phoenix Equality Chamber of Commerce, Keo Marketing, OH Strategic, and Univision.
Oh, you got the Univision going there. I like it. And now let's turn the spotlight for our Local Heroes Awards onto our honorees. Here we go. I love this lady. Pam Giannotti's leadership. Yes, let's do it. Because she rocks the house. Her leadership as the Kroger Corporate Affairs Manager for Fry's Food Stores Division exemplifies their commitment to leading with intentionality, partnering with intentionality, and to an LGBTQ inclusive workplace that values and celebrates the diversity of their team and the communities that they serve. Let's put a spotlight on Pam Giannotti.
It's really important to Fry's to partner with one community because our values reflect one another's. Respect, diversity, and inclusion is what we do every day for our associates and our customers. We are intentional in our hiring practice to recruit diverse associates to reflect the communities we serve. When Fry's signed the Unity Pledge, it brought me great joy. It confirmed our commitment to support the LGBT community here in Arizona. I'd love to share with you an example of a story from an associate at Fry's, which highlights our culture. Completely unprompted, an associate named Zach posted this on our intranet. Back in 2019, when I first got hired, I was worried about one thing: how would my future coworkers react to learning I'm trans? At the time, I was only out to my immediate family and friends. When I asked the hiring manager if I could have the name Zach instead of my legal name on my name tag, he said yes, and asked if it was all right that he called me Zach from then on. That was strangely validating. It made me feel more comfortable being myself before I even started my first shift. My coworkers are kind, understanding, and very supportive. Being a member of the LGBT+ community, it's common for one to develop a found family. I take pride and comfort in knowing I have a found family at Fry's. They take care of me, and I take care of them as best I can. They made a conscious effort in learning my pronouns, and to me, that meant the world. Everyone's unconditional support in my journey keeps me going, even when times get difficult. My journey has only just begun, but thanks to my coworkers, support team, I know I'll have people in my corner as I continue. When I read Zach's story, it gave me great pride and my heart swelled knowing that this is happening in our organization. This award warms my heart. When I see division, it tears me apart. And to be recognized for something that I am so passionate about means the world to me, and I will cherish it always.
Love you, lady, and thank you so much for all you do. And you know, it strikes me when we listen to Pam speak, because I've known her for many years, and obviously she works a lot with my former station, who I love, 3TV, but she never asks for credit for what she's doing. She just does it. And that is the best kind of leader. And you always wear stylish clothes, too, so bravo, bravo.
State Representative Daniel Hernandez is committed to bipartisan solutions and to equality for LGBTQIA+ Americans. His unique ability to find common ground has led to the demise of harmful LGBTQ policy and the blockage of countless pieces of legislation meant to do harm to LGBTQ Arizonans. Daniel is a passionate, he is also a very strategic leader. Let's today put a spotlight on local hero, State Representative Daniel Hernandez.
As an openly LGBTQ legislator who's been fighting for the last 5 years in the legislature, and before that as a school board member, it is really important that we work both with one community and with members of the legislature. It's an inside-outside game. It's about partnership. It's about us working together to say that no person in Arizona should be treated any differently because of who they are and who they love. So it's important for me to work with one community because I'm a part of the community, but also because it's so crucial that we work together to get changes put into place to make sure that all Arizonans are treated fairly and that we're truly open for business for everyone. It's important to have an inclusive workplace at every location in Arizona, but for me, my workplace is the legislature. For 20 years, we've had openly LGBTQ elected officials, but we've never had an acknowledgement of that. We've never been able to build on the fact that we've had openly gay members on the Republican and on the Democratic side for almost 2 decades. So I joined with my colleagues my freshman term and said, let's create a caucus. And by doing that, we created a new opportunity for us to formally work with partners like One Community, which also help educate my colleagues. You know, as a legislator, I talk to the business community all the time. And one of the things that I hear constantly is we need to be wary about reputational harm. My colleagues at the legislature love causing reputational harm by promoting bills that are harmful, not just to the LGBTQ community, but for all Arizonans. So that's why I think it's so important that we have the Unity Pledge, which is one of the largest, if not the largest in the country. But it also says, whether you are a mom and pop shop or whether you're a Fortune 500 company, we are all in this together, and we all think that promoting equality and inclusiveness is where we need to go, not SB 1070, which was anti-Latino, or in 2014 when we had anti-LGBTQ laws. So our image as a state is getting better, but it's not getting better because of the legislators, it's getting better because of people who have signed the Unity Pledge and are a part of One Community. You know, as a legislator, I helped fight against the anti-trans athlete bill. I've helped pass legislation like the repeal of the no promo homo legislation that went into effect when I was 1 year old, and it was in place until I was 29. So for me, it is really crucial and really important that when I am retired, when I am older, we're able to teach this as history and not as a daily occurrence. When we're able to say the legislature is no longer going after any community and it's instead trying to find ways to make Arizona keep growing and keep being a vibrant place for everyone that's truly open for business for everyone. This award is really meaningful for me because as someone who has been in the trenches with One Community at the state legislature, fighting for better laws to make sure we're protecting the entire community, it is really an acknowledgement that the work that we have done is important and that it's not just something that I've been kind of carrying the load. It's been something we've all been working on together, whether it was business community, one community, or other legislators. We've all had to work together. So this award is important for me because it's not just about me. It's about the coalitions that we've built that I think are lasting and that are strong, and that will continue to make sure we're moving forward meaningful and important laws to protect our community and to make sure that, again, we'll reach that big scary dream that I have of not having to talk about this as the present, but talking about it as history. One Community has done such incredible work, and as a legislator who's been here, to really see the great work firsthand and on the ground, I'm really excited for the next steps for One Community.
Did we do the picture over here? Okay.
Let's hear it for our first two local heroes. And I'd like to now invite our next group of center stage sponsors up to the Step and Repeat, please. Fry's Food Stores, iHeartMedia, JP Morgan Chase. Please take your places in front of the Step and Repeat. And while they are getting situated, we're going to move on to another award. But just a quick note, because I know so many of you in this room are parents, I was thinking as Daniel was talking there, I have twins who are 11 years old. So I'll often talk to them about the work I do in the community, and I want them to understand the fabric of the organizations, not just mommy's going to MC a luncheon. So when I tell them about One Community and they ask me questions like, Mom, so exactly what do they do? And I say, well, they fight for equality and diversity, and so everyone is looked at equally and has the same rights. To them, they were like, don't they? I mean, they just don't, you know, it doesn't even occur to them that that would be a thing. And I can't wait for the day when that is not a thing. So it gives me hope that my kids, you know.
And I'll quickly say my two nephews up in Seattle, they're ages 10 and 13, and they're huge Seattle Sounders fans. My sister called me in tears last season because the boys were looking through the roster, and my sister goes, what are you guys doing? They're like, we're trying to find Brandon a new husband. So those are 10 and 13-year-olds who, they don't even bat an eyelash. So the future is looking amazing.
I've been on the husband hunt for you for a long time. I'm voting for David Muir. I'm still voting for David Muir. As leaders of Huss Brewing Company and the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild, Leah Huss and Chip Mulala share a commitment to an LGBTQ inclusive Arizona. Their leadership led to the One Community Block Party for Equality and to building a coalition of Arizona breweries around the state who are truly welcoming and open for business to everyone. Let's please put a spotlight on local heroes, Leah Huss and Chip Mulala.
We were out in the market one day and saw a tag for One Community, and I was like, what is this? We need to look into this. And immediately upon looking into it, I was like, well, this is a no-brainer for us as a company. Why would we not decide to say, shouldn't everybody be included? So we went forward, we signed the pledge, we brought everybody in, and from there, it's just been, you know, One Community.
One Community represents inclusivity and open arms to everybody out there and makes it all, I mean, literally in the name. That's why I kind of really dig it, because it does make it into a literal One Community. And I think that it's really important that we at Huss put our foot forward, put our name forward. As one of the leaders in the craft beer business, we wanted to make sure that we publicly showed our support and hopefully encourage others to join the good fight too.
It was really important for us to sign a unity pledge because I have a young daughter and I want her to know that the world should essentially be prepared and ready to be one together. And if we can lead in this community and say that, you know, this is a place that's open to everybody, no matter what, then that's how I want her to grow up. That's what I want her to know.
I think it's very important to publicly acknowledge that that you're part of something and what you believe in. Signing the Unity Pledge publicly, doing that great event at our tap room where we invited hundreds of people from the community, from our business partners, from our employees, family, staff, who are all there to witness us sign this Unity Pledge, really was a very important gesture that showed the rest of the community, not only in our own craft beer community, but the neighborhoods and the Phoenix community at large, that this is something that we believe in, and that we hopefully encourage other companies and other individuals to also jump on board to this very important thing and say, publicly show your support too.
Right.
Creating a safe place and a place of inclusivity at our tap rooms, not only, but also in our workplace. Many members of our family that work for us are part of the LGBTQ plus community. And I think that they see that us as a company support them and support all of us together. I think it's really important for them to see that. You have to be genuine about it, not pandering just because you want somebody to come and buy your product, but more importantly, just to be actually genuinely open. And, and I think that's why, at our tap rooms, you see us and you see we proudly have our One Community stickers right on the front door to let everybody know that this is a place that's safe, that's welcoming, and that you can just be yourself.
This award personally to me kind of means everything. It's touching to know and to be honored by you guys because, sometimes for people this may not be easy. Like I said, for us, it was not a big deal. But just to know that we're also appreciated back, in that way is special to me.
Yeah, I think that for me, having family members, friends, so many people that are connected to my life personally that are part of the LGBTQ plus community, I think this award means I'm honored. And I think that, what Leah said, I think it's fantastic. It does touch home, but I think, again, more than that, I think it is about a bigger story. It's nice to be acknowledged personally, but I think that it's a bigger story and a bigger cause.
Let's hear it for Leah and Chip. We'll clap for Leah and Chip and for craft beer. Right on.
Next up today, Robert Height. Yes. Robert Height and his fan base over there, I love that, leads with his heart. As the president and the CEO of the Glendale Chamber of Commerce, his tireless commitment to an inclusive Glendale led to the creation of the Chamber's Diversity and Inclusion Task Force. Under Robert's leadership, the task force was instrumental in the passage of Glendale's LGBTQ inclusive ordinance this year. Today, at One Community, let's put a spotlight on our local hero, Robert Height.
The Unity Pledge benefits our state and its image because, one, it's the largest of its kind in the United States, thanks to Angela and her team at One Community. We need to make sure that more businesses step up and take the Unity Pledge and sign on, and hopefully everyone here that's today at the luncheon will do their part to work to get a few more signatures for that. We have to stand up and speak up. We have to get out there and rally our advocates and speak out and up for what we need to do to make Arizona welcome for everyone. It was really important for me and our chamber to use our voice in leading our community to have our city adopt NDO, a non-discrimination ordinance. We worked in partnership with One Community, Equality Arizona, and many other community partners throughout our West Valley to make sure that our local leaders understood the importance of welcoming everyone and what it really means to be inclusive. So when Glendale voted unanimously in favor of an LGBTQ ordinance, it really hit home that the work that the committee had done made a difference and matters. It sends a message that in the West Valley, Glendale has stepped up to do what's right and welcomes everyone in business and in the community. My dream for Arizona, but also all over, would be that there is no more discrimination, that everyone is welcome. I myself have been discriminated against. I have felt set aside or pushed down, and I think that many other people have. And so the day that comes that there is no more, that anyone feels different or less than or not up to par, it is a good day for Arizona, but a good day for everywhere that we may be. This award is very special to me. It touched my heart when Angela called to tell me that I was being recognized. It validates the work of so many who have come before me and those that will come after me, that it's meaningful and that it does make a difference. And so my hope is that everyone will do their part to make a difference. At the very first luncheon I attended with Angela, I left with tears in my eyes, wondering what else I could do. And I hope that I've lived up to that expectation that Angela may have placed upon myself or others to continue to fight for equality and equity for all.
Come on, Glendale posse. I know you got more than that. I know you want to do it. Just go ahead. Congratulations. By the way, good things going on in the West Valley. A lot of good things going on in the West Valley. Bravo to all of you. So now let's hear it for our first 4 One Community local heroes. Congratulations, everyone, as we move through the show. We're going to take a short break so y'all can eat a little bit, chat with one another. I'm told it's approximately 18 minutes. Angela likes to keep things on time, so enjoy yourselves, and we'll be back in a few.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your lunch. This is just a 2-minute warning, just a friendly 2-minute warning. Also, there are so many people bidding on those amazing packages that the system crashed because they're that awesome. So this is what's going to happen. We're actually going to be sending out a link. So later today, you can still bid on some of those amazing raffle prizes. But again, the system is crashing because so many people are on it right now. So we're going to be sending out that link later on this afternoon. But again, a 2-minute warning, and then we'll continue the program.
So nice, I know. All right, let's go ahead and resume the program so we can keep you all on time. And we hope everyone is enjoying their lunch and dessert. If we could now please have representatives from Sheraton Downtown and Southwest Airlines at the step and repeat. And while those folks are getting settled, please join me in thanking this year's Unity Champions for their investment in One Community's programs and events. Thank you all so very much. Now, both as a former city council person and a citizen of Scottsdale, Virginia Cortey's unwavering commitment over the past 7 years led to Scottsdale becoming the 8th city in Arizona to adopt an LGBTQ inclusive non-discrimination ordinance this year. Let's put a spotlight now on Virginia Cortey.
It is very important for me to partner with One Community because back in 2005, my partner was fired from her job after 19 years for being who she is and loving who she wanted to love or who she wants to love. It really hits home when it comes that close to you and becomes so much more important to fight for equality and fairness and justice for the LGBT community. Passing a non-discrimination ordinance in Scottsdale was not easy. It happened this year in 2021, but it really goes back 7-8 years. We started working on this 7 or 8 years ago, and I remained active in keeping people coalesced, keeping people thinking about it. And in 2021, the stars aligned, and I was really proud of the City Council for their courage to say yes in a unanimous vote. You know, we are all God's children, and we all deserve to be treated equally. I don't think anyone can argue that. My dream is to adopt, as soon as possible, a statewide policy to protect the rights of our LGBT community. This award means, to me, it's a very heartfelt award. It represents 7 years of work, of standing tall, of believing in what's right and believing in what's right for the community and what's right for individuals. And I just believe that it's just the best thing that's happened to Scottsdale in a long time. I'm humbled and I'm honored, and I want to tip my hat to all of the people that believed in me, believed in this ordinance for Scottsdale, and believe in equality and fairness for everyone.
When I grow up, I just want to be Virginia because she's just that amazing.
All right, next up this afternoon, under Michael Soto's leadership, Equality Arizona's commitment to collaboration with one community has been a true game changer for both organizations. This unstoppable, unwavering team proved that here in the great state of Arizona, we are truly better together. Let's put a spotlight this afternoon on local hero, Michael Soto.
Equality Arizona and One Community are partnering together because we're both LGBTQ organizations working for the same goal in Arizona. We're both working for the full inclusion and rights of LGBTQ people in this grand state of ours. And that takes a big, amazing team. And look at what we've done so far. In just a few months, we've accomplished so much. I can't wait to see what we do in the future. It is important for Equality Arizona and for me as an individual leader to sign the Unity Pledge because it says so much about who we hope to be as a people, as a community, and as a state. It's about unifying and bringing together every Arizonan for that common good, for that full citizenship, and for that equal opportunity for everyone to live and thrive in this state. Who can't get behind that? It's important that Arizona is open to business to everyone because for an economy, for a state, and for a people to truly thrive, everyone has to be able to equally participate in it. And so that means that everyone needs the same access and opportunity to be a part of not only the economic drivers of this state, but everyday life of this state. My dream for Arizona is that it's a state where everyone can see a future for themselves and for their children, for their grandchildren, right? For their friends, for everyone that they know, that they can see a future where everyone is fully embraced, welcomed, and truly appreciated for who we are. This award means so much to me personally. I love this work. I feel like all of us who do this work every day are called to do it, right? There's so much more than it being a job. It's a mission in life. And so to be recognized for that means the world to me. And to be recognized by people that I respect and admire and love so much really just means everything to me. This is just the beginning. We've got so much work to do and so much great work ahead of us, and I can't wait to keep doing this work with One Community. It's a true privilege for Equality Arizona to be in partnership with One Community, and we've got great things ahead of us.
I love to be able to give people hugs again. I'm Greek, so that was like so difficult for me.
Again, congratulations, Michael. Thank you for your leadership here in our community. And thank you again to all of our sponsors. You can all now return to your seats, and I think everybody is seated.
And now please join me in welcoming PetSmart's Senior Vice President of Merchandising and the executive sponsor for the Pride at Work Associate Resource Group, Kristen Shane, to announce the recipient of the 2021 Unity Agent Award.
Thank you, Carrie and Brandon. Hi, I'm Kristen Shane with PetSmart. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion that makes Arizona great. As an Arizona-based company, PetSmart is proud of our local heritage and even more proud to support local organizations that bring the community together. Creating a culture of belonging for all of our associates is ingrained in our core values and everyday practices at PetSmart. At PetSmart, we are committed to equality and equity for everyone, and we are proud to lead on the important dialogue about diversity, inclusion, and equity in the workplace, in Arizona, and all over the country. That is why we are honored to present the Unity Award today. Unity agents lead by doing what's right. They follow their hearts no matter the obstacles, and no matter the personal cost, in order to make the world a little bit better for all of us. Now more than ever, we need leaders who lead with their hearts and work to unite our communities. Leaders who call upon all of us to be better, to do more, and help us grow stronger together. In a time that demands servant leadership, courage, conviction, and dedication to doing the right thing, even when it's the hard thing, we could think of no better person to honor this year than Mesa Mayor John Giles. Wow, what a moment. I hope you feel the love, Mayor Giles. So incredible. Let me tell you about Mayor Giles if you don't know. Mayor Giles has been a strong ally of LGBTQ inclusion. This past March, championed the success of the historic LGBTQ inclusive non-discrimination ordinance in the City of Mesa. But success in Mesa didn't happen overnight. It happened because Mayor Giles worked on this effort for many years, both publicly and behind the scenes, to find ways to unify the diverse Mesa community and build a coalition of support for LGBTQ equality in Mesa. He led, he convened, he listened, and he got the job done. In the face of headwinds, he stood strong in his conviction that equality and equal dignity for all people was the right thing to do. When opponents filed for a referendum on the ordinance, he didn't flinch. He got to work, and he led the charge to ensure the ordinance would stand, ensuring equality, fairness, and dignity would win the day for all the people in his beloved city. Mayor Giles' efforts to expand the non-discrimination protections don't end at the border of Mesa. He has supported an update to our statewide non-discrimination law to include sexual orientation and gender identity. He has participated in panels and events and been a strong ally to One Community and other LGBTQ organizations in their endeavors. Mayor Giles' commitment to creating a stronger Arizona through celebrating, respecting, and protecting all people, including LGBTQ people, is something we should all aspire to emulate in our own daily lives. Thank you, Mayor Giles, for all that you do to make us better.
I have not made it very far in life. I was born and raised in Mesa, Arizona, and I'm proud to have lived most of my life here. I took a few short detours to serve as a missionary in Korea for a couple of years for my church and to go out of state for my undergrad education, but came back to ASU for law school and have practiced law here for 25 years before running for mayor about 7 years ago. We've raised our 5 kids here. And it's really been a great place for the Giles family for forever.
My daughters are the #1 fan support, and we all talk each other down off the ledge if someone is mean to him on social media. You know, I don't think there's anyone more proud of their dad than our kids. We've raised some good people that will do anything to support him.
My family is really a big motivating factor for me choosing to become the mayor in the first place. I'm anxious to show them that there are some things that are more important than money, Some things, I mean, having the opportunity to be impactful in the community is every bit as rewarding, maybe not in a financial sense, but in a sense that is more important than financial.
I believe that Mayor Giles' support of this ordinance is a reflection of his deep faith, because as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, he wants to do what Jesus would have us do. He wants to do the right thing, to be moral, to be ethical, and particularly to be loving and kind. And I believe that directly had an effect on the position that he took on passing this ordinance.
Sometimes people will act confused. Why are you, we know you're a religious person, why are you doing this? And what I just want to scream from the rooftop is the reason I'm doing this is because I'm a religious person. I'm not doing it in spite of my religious belief. I'm doing it because of what I've learned at church and in my family, that is very faith-based. That is what compels me to want to put that, you know, the stuff that I'm learning on Sunday into the way I'm involved in the community, you know, Monday through Saturday. My personal journey to becoming an ally, like I say, I think probably started in my after high school when one of my best friends came out a year after college. I went off to be a Mormon missionary, and he went off to move to Los Angeles because he didn't have a home in Arizona anymore because his family had asked him to leave. Just the heartbreak that I saw associated with that, that'll always stay with me. A lot of folks in Mesa have really dedicated their careers to this. I think of Dennis Kavanaugh. Dennis and I have served on the city council together going back to 1996, and he's been a great example to me of community service. This was an issue that was very important to him as we've served together. I'm glad that we were able to accomplish this, and he was able to be a part of it and to help take credit for it. The message that we send of acceptance, of love, of you're not them, you're us, I mean, that alone is worth pursuing non-discrimination ordinances. I worry so much about teenagers, particularly teenagers in conservative faith communities, that oftentimes either are contemplating or taking their own lives. These are horribly challenging experiences. And so for those in our community that say, hey, really, is this a problem? I mean, is this something that we need to be vigorous about? The answer is yes. My relationship with One Community and with Angela really started back in 2014, 2015. Shortly after I was elected mayor, this issue was front and center. And so our Human Relations Advisory Board and others, some of our major employers, they were pointing out that this is not an issue that Mesa can be oblivious to. Early on, back in 2015, we began the process of talking to all the stakeholders in our community. Very quickly, Angela and One Community it became apparent to me that this was the group that had the most credibility, that was integrated into the community, that had the resources and the connections at a local level to help us make a good decision. We worked really hard on this back in 2015, and ultimately came to the decision that we needed to stand down for a period of time because it was extremely volatile at the time, and we probably could have pushed it through, but there would have been a lot of damage done in the community if we crammed it through. When we decided to hit the pause button in 2015, it was not that doesn't mean that we were hit pause on everything. So I continued to be an advocate at the legislature and at the Arizona League of Cities and Towns, trying to raise awareness that this was an issue that all of us needed to make some progress on at a state level and at city levels as well. So we didn't sit idle, from 2015 to 2021. Things continued to progress. The Unity Pledge in 2017 was an important step down that path of ultimately getting to an ordinance. It was a great way to get some consensus going. And then once they kind of got there intellectually, their hearts would eventually follow. And so I think the Unity Pledge was a great, important middle ground that helped us ultimately get to the ordinance. You know, 2021 is a year that will go down in infamy, won't it? For a variety of reasons. I mean, politically, it's been the most contentious year we've seen in a generation. You've got the pandemic, you've got all of these external sources of pressure, right? When we came forward with this ordinance, some people said, "Are you crazy? Now? In the middle of all of this contention and pressure?" I think people were yearning for something that they could come together on. And so in some ways, the context of being in this very turbulent time, I think helped us with getting this ordinance through. Because, I mean, if we can do it now, we can do it anytime. I am very proud of the Mesa ordinance. It really is groundbreaking in a lot of ways. There's progress in there. Concessions that were made by all parties that allowed us to get to a place that would not have been possible even a few years ago. So allowing time for the community to evolve, trusting the LGBTQ community to wanting the same thing that the faith community and the political community and the business community wanted, that allowed us to do something that we can all be very proud of.
I think Mayor Giles was critical to the passage of this ordinance. He's been involved for 7 years behind the scenes in things that people aren't even aware of. And I just think his tenacity and his ability to connect and listen and hear people was absolutely crucial to the passing of it.
He has the ability to work with very conservative people. He has the ability to work with very liberal people. And I believe he understands how to be a pragmatist to get certain measures done.
I really appreciated that whenever community members had questions, he met with them, he listened to them, he read their emails, and he really wanted to make sure we were covering every single aspect of the ordinance. And so when there were some changes made because community members came forward.
He's a great mediator and bridge. He'll listen to two sides and he'll bring them together, and then before you know it, we're coming to some consensus on whatever it is. Without that, I think we would have had too much division in our community, which would have driven us away from the ordinance.
I can't tell you how proud I am of our community and our city council for making this happen. Being a little bit patient, continuing to work with people, letting them evolve on their own timeline, ultimately getting to a place where we could have broad-based support from the business community, from the faith community, from the elected officials. It allowed us to have a coalition at the end that could weather the opposition that was going to happen. Back in 2015, we were told in no uncertain terms that if you do this, here's our polling numbers, we're going to do a referendum, and look, we're going to win. And I think they were right. And so we knew going into this ordinance that was a very real possibility, that we would see threats of a referendum. And sure enough, we did. There is organized political opposition, that earns their their living fighting LGBTQ rights. They moved very quickly, and so did we. And as a result of that, we were able to get the political support, the financial support, the manpower, the volunteers that we needed to adequately respond to the challenges that we had. With the help of One Community and other organizations, we were able to have a very polished, intelligent communication strategy. Once we were able to get the facts out, I think we could throw a wet blanket on a lot of those crazy arguments, and ultimately we were successful.
This has been an amazing experience. Like, really, as absolutely hard and difficult as it was, I've learned so much, and I'm now a huge LGBTQ ally. I think I always was, but I'm more open about it, right? I've come out as an LGBTQ ally.
Yeah, I think we're a stronger and bigger community, even from where I stand, which was an advocate previously, but it was a blending of different worlds. Like, this is my world and this is what we believe, and there's these other worlds and they believe differently. But I saw a lot of people coming together, and we celebrated together from all ages and walks of life and religious beliefs and
political
and everything you could define as differing among people. We came together around this, and I think our community is larger and we're stronger now.
Absolutely.
It's hard to overstate the significance of what happened in Mesa, because when people see what happened in Mesa, they say, my gosh, if it happened there, it could happen anywhere in the state of Arizona. It not only can, it should happen anywhere and everywhere in the state of Arizona. I think it's very much the same case when ultimately we get a statewide protection. The nation is going to say, oh my gosh, we got to pay attention to this. If it happens in Arizona, it can and should happen everywhere. And so we've got, with One Community, Equality Arizona, again, I have no doubt that momentum is going to continue, not just statewide, but ultimately that Arizona is going to be held up as a leader in adopting a national LGBTQ protection law. No one's here to stop me, so I'm going to say some things if you don't mind. Pride is such an important and meaningful word in the LGBTQ community, isn't it? Because pride was not allowed in the LGBT community forever. And that's the perfect word, I think, to describe the way I feel about my hometown, about the army of people that is with me today that made this possible in Mesa, Arizona. About my family, it's a pretty radical group. They've been radicalized as a result of this process. And it's embarrassing that we're singling one person out for this, because I hope that you will remember the names of Julie Spilsbury and Frankie Heredia and David Luna and Jennifer Duff. They deserve to be forevermore honored because of the brave thing that they did in Mesa, Arizona. So thank you on behalf of our community. I very proudly accept this.
Woo, if we had more leaders like that across the country, we'd be in a much different situation, right? Thank you so much, Mayor.
So ladies and gentlemen, a big round of your applause, your 2021 Spotlight on Success Local Heroes.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce, it's kind of like introducing Cher. I only need one name, Neil, right? The 2020 Unity Agent, the President and CEO of Greater Phoenix Leadership, my friend, Neil Giuliano.
Let's thank Carrie and Brandon. What a great job they've done all day. I need to get some of those kicks that he's wearing to be cool, but I know. Well, good afternoon. What a delightful time it has been. Mayor Giles, Carrie said it best, if only there were more like you in Arizona and across the country. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you for the example you have set in your community and in the broader community. Very, very grateful for the work that you have done and will continue to do. I'm here today, though, just to tee up something special. And since it's a tee up, I'll use a couple of tees. I'm going to introduce you to a woman. First of all, you know who it is, so we can kind of dispense with the drama. But I'm going to introduce you to a woman who is tenacious. She's hardworking. She's known for her soft appeal for those coffees. Let's have coffee. How bad could that be? Hardworking, great coffees, and a coalition builder. A real, true coalition builder. We're all in this room as a result of the coalition building that she has done over many years. But you know, there's something about people who are tenacious. And we all know some of them can be annoying. But not this woman. Because, here's the other T, she's trusted. Tenacity and trust don't always come together, especially in the world of advocacy. Whatever you're advocating for, and there are advocacy groups and causes out there galore. But tenacity and trust don't always go together. But in our community, when people see tenacity and they know that there's a trust behind it, well, we see what the result is. The result is a one community organization, a one community foundation, a one community that partners with senior business leaders and local activists. And everyone in between, because everyone has a role to play. And that's what Angela Huey knew about intrinsically when she started and co-founded One Community, and then the One Community Foundation that goes along with it. So the success that Angela has brought to our community is not just known in Arizona. I'm fortunate enough these days to talk with people of my generation who are active in the LGBT movement as either gay professionals, we called ourselves, if you worked for a gay movement organization, or just were a major donor or just involved, and they said, what is going on in Arizona? What's going on in the LGBTQ community in Arizona? And I get the opportunity to talk about many of the great organizations doing really significant work in our community. And there are many. We're fortunate in that respect. But I always talk about One Community and the strong coalition that has been built, the fabric that has been woven tighter and tighter to produce the results that we've heard about this entire afternoon. So she's a great friend. She's been a terrific cheerleader for me, and I am thrilled to be able to be here today and be a cheerleader for her and the great stewardship of the support we have provided and the great leadership that she has provided with One Community and the One Community Foundation. And that's our friend and the co-founder and president, Angela Huey.
I had this sneaking suspicion that you were not going to stick to the script that Sophie sent you, Neil. Yeah, oh, so much, way, yeah. But you got to give me a minute because, it's kind of tough to follow now. So it is actually a privilege and an honor to follow in the great work that Neil Giuliano has paved, not just for our LGBTQ community, but for all Arizonans and for all of us in this great nation. It's an honor and a privilege, and I'm so grateful you did not say no to that first cup of coffee. Okay. Carrie and Brandon, whew. I can't wait until my speech is over so I can just sob. I'm just like, these are beautiful tears of joy. I cannot thank Carrie and Brandon enough. Again, we say we lead with our hearts, and Carrie and Brandon have led this remarkable program for the last 2 hours with their hearts, and so I thank you both so very much. And thank you to our wonderful, amazing, remarkable One Community team. Janine, thank you for everything you do. And to our friends and partners at Perry Consulting for this absolutely flawless event, we cannot thank you. I sleep well at night because Tatum and Nick and their remarkable team are in charge. Our friends at Cultural Sponge that make sure our brand is always on point. And Mr. Darby Vance in Full Swing Video. We gave Darby the reins this year. This is the first time he has produced to every single moment. And I think that he deserves a really remarkable round of applause. And then Bettina and Sophie. Remarkably, so Bettina and I were introduced over a cup of coffee that someone else set up. And that was, 8 years ago? And Bettina has never said no from that point on. And Sophie speaks remarkable Angela speak, like she has like a decoder ring. And I will just go on a little tangent, and Sophie's like, and there's the nugget. And so you are just such remarkable friends and partners, and we are so grateful for OH Strategic for walking alongside of us in this journey. And of course, to our local heroes, a heartfelt thank you from all of us. Thank you for the courage to tell your stories, even at great cost, and your sheer determination to create meaningful change and inspiring others by your example. Each and every one of you leads with your heart, and for that, we are incredibly grateful. Your commitment to inclusion makes us all better. Together, we are making a difference together. We are creating a path forward for this great state. And I just realized I forgot to thank the most important person in my life, my wife, Sherry. As we work together to create the path forward, Sherry does that with me every day at the dining room table when we're taking long hikes, just exploring not just this remarkable journey that we're on together, but the path forward for our One Community team. And I am so incredibly grateful to be on this remarkable journey with you, Sherry Owens. Whew, it's not the sweater, I'm a little warm, wow. I've said it before and I'll say it again because it seems especially important in these divisive times. Our path is not a red or blue path or even a purple path. This is Arizona's path. And as we continue on our path towards a state that celebrates, respects, and protects us all equally, we promise to continue to lead with our hearts and to continue to meet people where they are. We promise to have the courage and commitment to keep the conversation going, even when it's difficult. Let's be honest, particularly when it's difficult. We also promise that when we are generous and kind and concentrate on our shared humanity, we can and will overcome any challenge. We will focus on all that we have in common, what brings us together, not on what divides us. And the mayor just talked about this. 2021 has been a tough year. We're still in the midst of a global pandemic. Many of us have lost loved ones. We've seen suffering, experienced struggle through illness, isolation, or financial hardship. And despite these hardships, I know that there are better days ahead. Just being here with you all makes my heart so happy, and of course, so does my black turtleneck, because I've really missed it. I've missed it. It's been 2 years since I've needed to wear a black turtleneck. She's back. Last year, as we gathered around our computers for Spotlight, I shared with you that we were headed into heavy headwinds with many challenges ahead. We knew how important it was to lean into our community, to collaborate and cooperate with each other, because we need everyone at the table. And through our collective efforts to meet people where they are, to run towards the difficult conversations, be comfortable being uncomfortable, we moved the needle in Arizona this year. After several years of collaboration led by none other than Mayor John Giles of Mesa, we passed an LGBTQ inclusive non-discrimination ordinance that had the support of LGBTQ inclusive organizations and religious leaders, including the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's a first, by the way. And not only did we successfully pass the ordinance, we successfully defended it when our opponents tried to run a referendum, because that is how strong we are when we are all in this together. And by the way, Mesa is just the tipping point. Within weeks, Scottsdale, Glendale, and Tucson all passed ordinances bringing equal treatment to nearly 1 million more Arizonans. And we did that together. Last year, I asked you to channel your hope and courage into action, and each and every one of you delivered. You wrote letters, you testified on Zoom, you called into meetings and spoke with your neighbors and families to help us get this done. And for that, I say thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah, go for it. Because here's the deal. I have to let you in on a little secret. We are just getting started. What we started in Mesa has already created a ripple across the state. Together with our great partners, Michael and his team at Equality Arizona, please give them a round of applause. We have a winning blueprint, a blueprint that LGBTQ people, people of faith, business leaders, law enforcement, and community leaders can all support. Because our leaders recognize that equal treatment is not only the right thing to do, but it is also what we must do to remain economically competitive. And here we go. That's why I'm asking you to join us today as we move forward to continue expanding equality to more municipalities and eventually to our state, so that Arizonans have equal protections under the law. And actually, what I'm ultimately asking you is to join us today as we move forward with our efforts to continue expanding equality, not just in our state, but throughout our great nation and federally, so that there is equality and fairness for all Americans under the law. I know we can do this. I know we can do this. I know we can do this federally because we know how to do the hard things, because we're already doing the hard things together. And one of the lessons we learned from Mesa is that LGBTQ rights and religious rights can and should coexist, and that we shouldn't forget that many LGBTQ people are people of deep faith, and many people of deep faith are LGBTQ. We can have ordinances and laws that protect us all, and that's what we're working towards together. I'm with you. During this tumultuous time that capitalizes on our differences, we must stay united. We must continue to collaborate and cooperate. We must all take ownership and realize that it is indeed all of our responsibility to treat people fairly. And as I look into this crowd, I know we can do this. We can get this done. I believe that our collective determination to treat all people fairly will lead us to a better tomorrow for all Arizonans and for our great nation. We are going to do this. So thank you all for having faith in us and faith in each other. We are forever grateful for your commitment, your work, your partnership, and for leading with your hearts. Thank you all for being here today. We are truly better together, and when we're together, we are truly one community. Thank you.